Okay, so this is the tour of the Wheel of Fortune. Hopefully not an epic fail like the one that you just watched just a little bit ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cogwheel that's in the upper right-hand corner. This stuff will open up later when we actually get into editing mode. We're not ready to share. If you hover over that blue button, it will say that right now your site is private only to you, or you might have anyone with a link from the Glasgow School District can find and locate your site. So we're going to change some permissions while this is a work in progress so that you can work on it and unveil it when it's fabulous. So here is the menu that drops down from the cogwheel in the upper right hand corner. So this button is awesome. If you really get yourself into a pickle, you can go back to revision history, and if you've really just made a mess of things, you can go back to a particular version and go fix whatever it was that you were trying to work on, and you bungled it up, and you go back in and magically it will restore that previous version. Is really nice, so that helps things. Maybe if you're working on a site with more than one person, you would want to subscribe to page changes, because again, right now a feature of what they're calling the classic Google Sites is that you do not have synchronous editing changes and things like that. So if you are working on a site with someone, you would subscribe to the page changes so that you're aware of what's going on when those changes were, when they were made. So the page settings is the next thing that I would like to show you. So showing the page title when you get to the page, showing any links to subpages if there are any, allowing attachments, allowing comments, a description of the page. Those are all things that, if you choose to have enabled, you would see those links and have those permissions to be able to do that. I disabled my allowing comments. I did not have that selected because it's not something that I feel like I'm interested in. Generally, it's people who say something under the veil of being anonymous, and then off you go, and then you don't know where that came from or why, or you think of that one person in 1,000 who had a problem with what you put up there. So I don't have comments allowed. You might feel differently. What I do want to call your attention to is the currently using the page template menu here, and this option to change things. A person has several different options to choose from when you are building a particular page on your website. They have different formats. So if you'd like to learn more about the different formats and what they do, if you would click this and learn more, this is also the attachment that is in this particular assignment. It explains the different templates and what they can be used for. So it has lots of information. Also, if you were to, gosh, what did I put in here? If I go back, so I went to was it this one? Yes. So working with Google Sites. So this types of pages here, it went through and it showed me, well, web page is pretty much the default, so you're working on that. But examples of announcement pages, a page with school-wide announcements, that's currently what we have at the Glasgow School District website. But the idea, if you were looking at doing a parent newsletter, a log of homework assignments with links or embedded documents and other media, creating a class blog. What's really nice about this particular site here, it's sites.google.com, and then it gives you information a little bit more on the different features and things like that. It goes through what your possibilities are. So this is a file cabinet. If you had a class where you just kept uploading things and all of the assignments and all of the notes and all of the videos and all of the things that you handed out in the course of a semester or a quarter or whatever, that is a possibility that one particular page can be this file cabinet design that you just have a log of things there. A list page where you know, some of these things where it says sports team roster with columns for names, location, function, role, that kind of thing. You know, you never really know exactly what a person will look at as far as a template and see how it applies to them. So take a moment and make note of this website here, and you can, you know, go in and take a look at things for you and to see how it applies to you. The default is the web page, and so if you do make any changes, if you do have a new, right now this is applying it to the home page. The home page is a web page. If you wish it to be something else, you would select that page here and then hit change, and that would work for you. I'm going to hit cancel because I want to keep it as a web page. So continuing our tour of the Wheel of Fortune, if you wanted to print your page, copy your page, those are pretty much self-explanatory. Now right now, excuse me, the delete page is not highlighted because you can't delete your home page. You have to start from something. So you might have to go make some changes or delete your site and start again. You can preview your page as a viewer, what that looks like when someone lands on it. You can save your page as a template. So if one person creates a particular format that others like, you can save that, share that so that others are able to use it. You can change your template if you wish to. Subscribe to site changes. Again, if you're working with someone who is making changes to the overall site as opposed to overall page changes, then you would do that here and it will notify you of any changes. The three that you would use the most here would be edit site layout, and we'll get into that a little bit more later, and manage site. So I'm going to go ahead and click manage site for just a minute. This is where we were before when I told you that you could rename your site, you could put in all kinds of words that might tag and describe your site to up the chances of your site being something that might be returned on a Google search. Let's take just a quick look here at what happens or what you see under manage site. So recent site activity, self-explanatory. It's going to say, well, you know, what these people came to your site was this particular thing that was downloaded, you uploaded this, that kind of thing, if you have the ability to download stuff. If there are any attachments that are put into your pages, any page templates that you would have for particular pages, app scripts that help other things work, anything that you've deleted, your general, which is where we were before, telling you could rename stuff, and then sharing and permissions. This sharing and permissions, right now you might have, yours might say anyone at Glasgow School District with a link, or anyone at Glasgow School District can find and access. That might be the default there. So I've turned that off. For my particular Glasgow Training Site 3, I don't want anybody to see it yet until I'm ready for it to go. So I've changed that, and if I choose to share it with specific people, I'll do that. Once I'm ready, I can hit it's on, it's live, and other people on the web can find it, and then they can access it and they don't have to sign in. The last part of the wheel is, this is probably my least favorite spot on the Wheel of Fortune, or misfortune for me. I think I spent the better part of a day or two messing around with the background of a site the text color, the gadgets that you're uploading and putting in. What color do you want? What sidebar stuff do you want? This is a rabbit hole that you will fall into, but it is an interesting one. If you go with a theme and you've selected, yes, I want a particular theme, then these buttons are going to be the default, and you won't have to do anything else, and everything will look awesome. If you are like me and you had the blank template and you wanted to figure out what would happen if you did this, you can mess around with inserting things, and then these buttons start to come into play. If you have something that is a theme and you want to change something on it, then you can select these buttons over here. The background color, well, maybe I like the theme overall, but I don't like the background of the theme and I want to change it. So you've got a couple options. You can stick with the default theme if you chose that. If you have a blank template, then you are maybe inserting pictures or backgrounds or things that are of your own custom making, and you want to match what's there, or you want to contrast what's there, then these buttons start to come into play. For the image that's there on the entire page, I have something I want to use. I don't want to go with the theme. So these buttons over here start to come into play. I generally, I have not messed with these, but maybe I don't want any color. Maybe I don't want an image at all. I guess you could select these. I tend to have a lot of this stuff selected, but these are the different parts of a particular site. So if you had a header enabled on your page, and we'll talk about what that is coming up here, you would have different things here that you could change as well. The content area, there's the page title, there's lots of different headers, there's all kinds of things here. You can see this is a rabbit hole. So how did I get myself out of this? I just kept clicking. That sounds like a bad Finding Nemo, but you just keep clicking and figure out, oh, what happened when I changed this button to something else? What happened? What did it do to my site? Do I like that? Do I not like that? And then go back and change things as you see. So the base theme allows you to start with an existing theme and make customization. So if you have a particular theme, you can go back to that. You can keep everything the same as the base theme. You can change things. You can completely go all on your own and be customized if that's what you so chose. So lots of different things there, and really it is just trial and error. If you want to pause or stop your progress in the webinars and at some point in time fall into that rabbit hole and look at stuff, have at her. It is all the way down under Manage Site. So the purpose of this particular webinar was to give you a tour of this Wheel of Fortune. So sharing and permissions we went over, sites help. If you have a need for that, you can go in and search for common issues that come up, and then also report an issue if you're having a problem with sites overall not working. Then they like to know those kinds of things. So that ends this webinar, which is Wheel of Fortune.